Now you got your test presses, you're gonna need to do some promotion. Doesn't matter if you're signed to a major, on an independent, or just starting to get your name out there. When it comes to promotion, you're gonna need the media. The 4 main media platforms used are press, TV, radio, and the internet. On the underground, when it comes to these platforms, the following brands are gonna play a massive part in raising awareness of who you are.
Rewind Magazine, Channel U, Bass, One Extra are essential because honestly, the last 2 years is the first time ever that we've kind of had our own mediums. In urban music, street music has had their own mediums. I think you can't possibly put on how important they are. You know, they're giving kids hope. They don't need to go through to labels anymore. They can go and shoot a video for $1,000 and put it on Channel U. They can do their own advertising through Rewind. You know, recently we've met with everybody, Rewind U, all those people, because it's like trying now to make sure we've got continuous branding in those areas. I think it's majorly important. I think without those we'd be in real trouble right now because it would literally just be reliant on the record labels and they're not gonna make the first move. So yeah, I think they're essentially important in giving kids the independence to sell their own records.
Yeah, the pirates are important because that's how you get heard in it every day. You go on there, you battling or whatever, you're doing your freestyles, that's important. One Extra is important because people who don't live in London, they get to hear it through their digital thing. Channel U is like a thing to show everyone in England, everyone who lives in England, Channel U shows each other what we are all doing. Can't lose, can't lose. That's the best thing. All I gotta do is get my skin on there and start doing my thing. That's the thing. But Channel U, but it is a good source to show everybody in England what each other's doing.
One Extra, Channel U, Rewind, pirate stations is vital. That is basically our mouth as a UK black urban music scene. That's our mouth. Without those like small pockets here and there of people that are willing to basically put our stuff out there, there's nothing else. Like without them, we just wouldn't really have a scene, to be honest with you. Like they are vital, definitely, and I'd like to see, you know, more pirate stations, more underground magazines, and you know, I'd also like to see the mainstream stations and mainstream magazines and whatnot take on board the UK scene more, because I think that we've earned it. I think that we deserve to be, you know, up there with everybody else at the end of the day.
Listen, you see right now, you need Channel U, you need Rewind. All them things are good for if you're a DJ or an artist, you're trying to get out there, you need them things in your life, yeah? Rewind, you need Channel U, big.
They got it really out there. It was in London at first, really, on the pirate stations. Without them, where would it have gone? Like, the tapes going out, that's slow, but One Extra, that's the whole of England, innit? Like, well, it's the world, innit? One Extra, Rewind, it all helped the scene move forward a lot quicker. Like,
to be honest with you, I find, you know, all forms of media coverage, whether it's, you know, the likes of Channel U, Rewind, or, you know, One Extra, very important because they're what I call the grassroots. They pick up on things early because, you know, they're interested. They want to find those new, exciting things. So for me, they're paramount. They have to be there, and we need more and more, you know, media outlets like that. We need TV stations that could be like Channel U and that can be like an MTV base or something that will pick up things early, run with it and support them. You know, if we had like a network of channels and radio stations like that, we probably would have a lot more success than we're already currently getting.
I think all of those underground outlets are extremely important. I mean, for example, for me, if it wasn't for Channel U, nobody would know who I am, realistically, to this point. I mean, some people listen to radio, man, but without Channel U, Akala doesn't exist to this point. So, I mean, they're unbelievably important.
I guess there's two ways to get in Rewind magazine. One way is that we'll come and approach you and ask you to be in Rewind magazine. Most of the people that you see in Rewind magazine these days, that's the case. They've come to us, and we put them in the magazine because we think their tune's strong enough. We think they're hot enough. We also do a lot of advertorials and stuff like that, promotional stuff for the acts, so they can come to us, and for a fee we'll put them in the magazine, we'll give them promotion that way as well. The reason we do that, and the reason we've always done that, is that we're a free magazine, and that's the way we get out to as many people as we do. If you take all the other urban music magazines in the UK and you put their entire circulation figures together, they don't print as many copies as Rewind magazine. We're the only one with an ABC registered circulation, which means basically that it's proven by an outside organisation how many we print. Nobody spends as much money putting out as many magazines as we do every month. Nobody takes their print run as seriously as we do, but the only reason we can do that and deliver this for free is by doing things like advertorials.
The One Extra mission statement is really simple. We represent the best new black music and we rep for the UK. Simple as that.
There are no plans to change the platform that we've given for artists and for the support of UK music and whatnot. What I would say is that people have become a bit, I don't know if the word is ungrateful, in terms of how easy it is to get on Channel U, and taking it, they're taking it for granted, because there was a time when you couldn't be considered without having playlists on radio. I mean, it's on TV, not Channel U, but on other TV channels. Without having playlists on radio, without having X amount of, if you like, more or less almost like references from DJs or whoever else of what your song is about, and then they would even just to give them for them to consider watching the video, and you'd have to have a release date as well. Now, with Channel U, obviously, you don't really need to have, those factors are not involved. We're not really interested on who your label is or what your release date is. It's a case of if your video is good, you've got good music, we'll put it on. But right now, it's like people will give a video in on a Friday and expect that it's going to be on a Wednesday and want to know why it's not on. And sometimes you can get close enough to people or to the scene where you're allowing so much things to go on, which is what Channel U is allowed to happen. But then you can get taken for granted, that as if there's no appreciation for what it actually is. This is a TV channel. Things actually do take time sometimes. Because your video didn't go on within 1 week, it's not because there's some great conspiracy for you. Do you see what I mean? Because you wouldn't even be able to have that conversation with a different channel. You send your video, and that would be that you might get a phone call at some point next month. Do you see what I'm saying? Well, you can't phone in and talk to someone, but you can phone in and talk to someone here. And there's been incidents where that has been abused, where you're phoning people direct and getting into their life about your video, and it's like, well, you're lucky that you can even talk directly to someone with regards to how Channel U operates. And if that was to be over abused, then you could see a change in how you operate. You understand what I'm saying when I say that? So we don't want to get into that kind of situation where it gets that way, but at sometimes it's almost like we're too accessible. And being accessible to the people trying to help the game, there are some people who take advantage of it in a negative way.
Now we've learnt about the different media platforms, let's go and hang out with some people that are using them to further their careers.